and pray a dream lover will come my way, a girl to hold in my arms and know the magic of her charms. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone.
Backspin. That is where it's at to shoot that ball to win.
Red Auerbach is the former coach of the Boston Celtics. He was born on September 20th, 1917 in Brooklyn, New York. He is responsible for 9 of the Celtics championships. He won 1 championship in 1957. From 1958 on, he won 8 straight as a coach. For his NBA career, he was 938 and 479. Prior to coaching in the NBA, he coached in the BAA, Basketball Association of Americas. In 1971, Red was named the Silver Anniversary Coach, signifying the league's honor as best coach of his first quarter century. Red was elected into the Basketball Hall of Fame as a coach in 1968. Lastly, Red tragically died of a heart attack on October 28, 2006. Red leaves a great legacy with Boston, the Celtics, and the world for being such a great leader.
So Red Auerbach was kind of essential in the 50s and 60s. He started the dynasty for the Celtics, and they actually won 16 championships underneath his rules.
Red Auerbach is one of the most successful coaches in NBA history. He led the Celtics to 9 NBA championships. He had one of the most successful records in his coaching career.
He was an activist, obviously. In his way of integration, he only used 7 set plays, so it's shown by his pure coaching skill that those 7 set plays led them to 16 championships. And in sports, obviously, his history reflects itself. He had the most victories of 938 in NBA history. He had the dynasty in the 50s and 60s, and he was successful overall. So I would say a little bit of both.
Red Auerbach was the first to draft a black player, Chuck Cooper. He knew that he had to take risks to make the team successful. Red Auerbach even had some personal training sessions with Bill Russell and told him to prepare for some races. Red Auerbach had a different coaching style than other coaches in his time. Red Auerbach had very intense practices. He was the first to use a 6th man in basketball. The 6th man is a bench player that comes off the bench more than other bench players. Red Auerbach didn't have one leading scorer. He coached so that everyone can help the team succeed. He coached so that they could play as a team, not just a couple of star players.
Red Auerbach didn't really care about individual players. In the 50s and 60s, it was very much an individualistic sport. He kind of integrated people for their skill and not just for their individual hype. So Red Auerbach drafted Bill Russell. It was very uncommon for African Americans to be in the NBA at that time. He actually drafted the first African American NBA star. So Bill Russell, being as good as he was, and Red Auerbach being as fair as he was with drafting players, kind of put him on the map to show off his skills and be the true player that he really was.
Do you think
the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear.
the NBA wouldn't be with us today without him, said David Stern, a former NBA commissioner. Red Auerbach established many things used in the current NBA. He was the first to have a 6th man. The 6th man is also used by every single team in the NBA now. He made the fast break. The fast break is used a lot in the NBA, and it's all because of Red Auerbach.
With its teeth, babe, scarlet billows.
Red Auerbach drafted the first black player, Chuck Cooper, breaking the color barrier so that other races can play basketball. His coaching style has been adopted by present-day coaches since we see more teamwork used now than in his time. Many teams do his torture drills to play fast pace so they can do fast break and play mind games with the other team, just like Red Auerbach. He had the first African American starting 5 and hired the first African American coach. Red Auerbach is also known for lighting a cigar when the victory is secured.
Red Auerbach didn't care about stats as much as the players' attitude. Stats are the most overrated thing in sports as far as I'm concerned, Red Auerbach wrote in his book called Management by Auerbach. He says the stats can't record everything. He didn't think about if he can have the next star player. He thought about who can help the Celtics.
He coached his players by encouraging them and said if they give him their all, Red Auerbach will give it his all. He defends his players if he thinks the referee made a bad call. Red Auerbach made his team stand up during timeouts. He considered everything, not just points. He gives the team pep talks and motivates them to play like a team.
Defense, the Lakers are standing around more and seem to be a little more tired than the Celtics. And that's what
Red Auerbach was the Celtics general manager from 1966 to 1984. As a general manager, he won 6 titles. Lastly, Red retired as a GM to become the team president in 1984. In 1986, Red won the Celtics' 16th championship, which would be his last. He died as the team's president in 2006. As a general manager, Red learned the league's rules and loopholes and used them to draft Larry Bird. When Bird was a junior at Indiana State, he was drafted by the Celtics. The rule was that you had to spend 4 years in college. Bird was eligible because he spent 1 year in college and never played a game, which is why they scratched that year. So technically, since Red knew the rules, he could draft Larry Bird. He would just have to wait 1 year until he graduated. This shows Red used his knowledge of the game to make the Celtics a better franchise.
Success.
So his differences did affect his success. Like I said, they won 16 championships underneath his coaching style. So he, by valuing their individual skills and not just the individual themselves, he was able to win a lot of games.